So, you're ready to paint. Everything is lined up. Paint, canvas, brushes, everything. But you still need three things. A good idea, a good composition for it, and hard work. This video is about getting ideas, choosing a composition, and then I will illustrate the part of hard work by painting a painting from start till finish. Hello everybody, I'm Henrik Skoer. Welcome to my channel and let's get started. The easy part is really to get a good idea. A boring idea is boring no matter what composition you choose for it and no matter how much hard work you put into it. In one of my earlier videos I speak about the painting process, especially the part of getting ideas. I will link to that in the description below. When I start a painting, sometimes I know exactly what to paint. I get the idea for free, as I say, and sometimes I don't know. Then the best way for me is just to start painting. That's really the main thing for me. And the minute the brush touches the canvas, I will get a lot of ideas and they will come and go all the time. I really don't know where they come from, but I like to think of them as presents given to me by the canvas, which is of course nonsense, but I like this way of thinking. I will then pick one or a few of them and then determine which composition I want to use for my painting. Getting the idea for this painting was fun. Also a little different than usually. I had the idea to use a bird's nest as a motif in a painting. I find that the nest is very picturesque and also a very beautiful symbol of safe living and a carefree beginning of life. Also, the construction in such a nest is very beautiful. Small twigs, straws and grass are woven together in the most delicate way. And this makes the construction very light, very flexible and very, very strong. For some reason, I almost lost the idea until one windy autumn day, it approached me in a very direct way. The wind blew this little masterpiece right in front of my door and left it lying, waiting to be found. And then I knew there was no way around it. I had to use it. After that, I painted several versions of this nest idea. And in today's painting, I will use it again in a painting. If an idea is good, it is still good again and again. And I have no trouble recycling my ideas, and neither should you. However, I don't paint the same painting again and again because it's boring. So now I have decided on a platform for my painting. At this point, I often research a little bit in books, videos, and then I often use a Google search in order to get a lot of photos of my motif. For this painting, I found this photo and I decided to use it as a starting point for my painting. Choosing a composition can be a little bit tricky because the rules of composition are many and quite complex. I always get a little skeptical when I hear of rules on how I should paint my painting. But the rules of composition today is part of my painter's toolbox. These rules are based on old traditions. Many of them have been used for hundreds of years and have been proven again and again by all the great masters. And if they had no problem using these rules, I shouldn't either. But I do. Composition is a huge subject, and for many years I struggled with these rules of how to compose a painting, and to be honest, I still do. Over the years I have studied these rules, I have read a lot of books and seen a lot of paintings. And I often get the impression that these rules somehow are connected with magic and mystery, even divine power. which of course they are not. The composition in a painting is really a way to control the viewer's eyes around the surface of the painting. You can make it go special areas of the painting and you can make something stand out. The composition can give you a sense of depth, perspective, beauty, emotions, and it can even tell you a whole story of what goes on in this painting. Many of the rules are ratio numbers and geometric measurements set in relation to each other. For instance, dividing lines or structure, space and color experiences. In this video, I will pick a rule to demonstrate my process. I'll get back to that. But in my daily work, I don't deliberately go around thinking of the composition rules all the time. I just paint. I work intuitively, and at some point, the painting will be finished. As long as I control the canvas and know what to do, everything is fine. But then again, sometimes I don't know what to do and I get stuck and can't see the way forward in a painting. And then the rules of composition can be of great help to me because they are giving me options. Try this, try that. It's not like if I only knew the rules of composition, all my troubles would be over. And I don't really save the composition rules for a rainy day. It's more like, for many years, these rules have been implemented in my brain and they work constantly in the background to help me when I'm painting. The problem with these rules are that there are so many. So which one should you choose? My best advice, and I use it myself, I just pick one. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, pick another. In this video, I have decided to use the most famous of them all, also the one with the most beautiful name, the golden ratio. The golden ratio has been a prominent element in the history of painting and art. It's believed to create pleasing and harmonious composition. It brings a sense of harmony and balance into a painting, and it is believed to enhance the visual impact and emotional resonance of a piece. The golden ratio is found all over the place in nature and even in the proportion of human beings. The golden ratio is not a strict rule, but it's one of the most prominent rules with a dominating presence in the history of art and architecture. It has been with us now for so many years that it practically has become part of our DNA. The internet overflows with content of the golden ratio, so I won't go deep into explaining the rule. I will only briefly describe the principle. So hang on, here it is. The rule is illustrated here and is about a certain ratio between the lengths of two line segments. The line segment A relates to line segment B, as line segment B relates to the full length of the two line segments A plus B. That's really it. The ratio is often referred to as the Greek letter phi. It is easy to calculate the golden point on a line by dividing it by 1.6. This painting, for instance, is 80 times 60 centimeters, and the points are 50 centimeters on the 80 centimeters horizontal line and 37.5 centimeters on the 60 centimeters vertical line. You will end up with 2 points on each side, one measured from one end and one measured from the other end. When you draw 4 lines on a rectangular canvas, you will get 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines that intersects in 4 points. The rule is that you can place important part of the painting either on the lines or in one of the 4 points the golden ratio forms. In my view, this rule fits nicely into an abstract painter's toolbox, as it brings some kind of order into a painting when it seems that nothing else does. You can say it's creating a framework for your painting. The golden rule is making the process of painting easier. And now I will use this rule in one of my paintings. It's the one you can see behind. Normally, I don't start by drawing the composition, but in this case I think it's a good idea because it's quite an accurate composition. I decided on this, and this is how I would structure my painting. I use a special pencil, this one, which can be washed off by using water if I make mistakes. As always, I moisture the canvas in order to avoid that the canvas will suck out the moisture in the brushes, so I keep the canvas wet all the time. This way I can work quite fast with the colors. I always enjoy starting a painting like this, and in this case it's just like making a watercolor on paper. You can see I have the motif right in front of me to the right side of the canvas. And this is nice, and I believe this initial state of the painting will only take half an hour or something like that. The thing right now is that I need to make the base of the painting. This looks like it should end up being a figurative painting, which it partly will, but the main thing for me is to go for the abstract expression, and I need to start a place. And now you can see the canvas is dry, and I can start using thicker layers of paint on the dry canvas now. So this is sort of a happy hour. I can go in which direction I choose, but I choose to stay in this semi-realistic expression. The colors are brown and yellow greenish, which I take from the photo I decided to use as a starting point. I like to give the mood of the painting already at this stage of the image. It is nice sometimes to paint with the white, because you can remove stuff that you don't like or that you don't need anymore in the painting. The main composition principle, the golden ratio, is holding the painting together. The rule should help, not restrict. I like to gradually detail the main subject more than the rest of the painting. This will make it stand out more in the end. I don't feel obliged to stay directly on the line of the golden ratio. As I said, the purpose of the rule is that it should be of help creating a good painting, not to limit your opportunities. I use mainly quite small brushes, which is in this case very good, because then at the end I have a lot of details which will sum up to make the final painting. The background will grow out of the composition principle. Also, I use a round form set up against the vertical lines of the trees. And now I decided to include one more color, a new color, which is blue, my favorite blue color, which is indigo blue. And I make 4 shades of the blue. So I have them ready to use on the painting when I feel like it. You can see I use these glass balls which I can stack, which is very practical for me when I'm working, so that they will stay moistured and won't dry out on me. I use the blue color, which is close family to the green, and also complementary to the brown, because the brown is really an orange and a black mixed together. Highlights will be yellow, and some of this yellow will look as if it was green because of the surroundings it is presented in. We are in some kind of forest, and of course the green and the yellow-green would be the main colors of the background. I like the precise expression, I like the thin lines, I like the sharply outlined colors. And now we are quite far in the process. I'm very focused on the details and do not think so much about the whole painting. But of course I fit whatever I paint into the overall composition. For instance, I decide that now I will focus on the details of the nest, and then I don't try to get distracted by all the other stuff. Then, when I have painted what I set up to do, I will look at it, stand back and look at it as a whole. And maybe I will change stuff, but when I'm painting, I try to focus on whatever I have decided from the start. Sometimes I have the feeling that painting is very much like driving a car. You don't need to do so much. You just need to follow whatever is going on in front of you, and don't make stupid mistakes. I have decided to make the blue colors dominate the right side of the canvas. This way I make some kind of tension between what's going on in the right and in the left side. And that tension I like a lot. When you look at the nest as the construction, there will be many lines, and this is maybe too much, but I can always remove them again, and this is what I actually will do now. The painting will always be a sum of all the details you make. Here I remove some line, a line which is distracting to the painting. I want the branch here to be in front of the nest in order to create a symmetry. This way, in my view at least, I feel that the branch is holding the nest. Bringing in the ruler is another way to make contrast. Then there will be lines which is hand drawn and other lines which is made by a ruler. By adding some orange and red colors, you will make the painting more vibrant, because the orange and the red ones are complementary to the green and blue ones. This give life to, in my view, give lives to the painting. Now we are rather close, and I need to be careful not to make some crucial mistakes, because right now it's easier to spoil something than to add something good to the painting. So I'm very cautious now what I do. I think there's a risk that the nest will become too integrated in the background, and I don't want that. And this is why now I introduce some lighter colors surrounding the nest, making it stand out from the background. The contrast will be enhanced when I use the red colors in contrast to the greener one in the background. I'm quite pleased with the result, and I believe we are very close to be finished for now. And this is the final painting. And that's my painting. It's finished for now. I decided on the title, The Nest. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.